KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com. You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Hi everyone, this is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes, because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. you'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Hand on the Bible, I'm a decent man. No, I ain't perfect, but I'm learning how to be the best I can. But I got demons collecting dust, and I buried them so damn far down so they can't find their way back up. So don't mistake my kindness for weakness, cause I can flip that switch, and you can find out quick. There's a hell on the other side that you ain't met yet. Tread real light, dare you to light that fuse, cause I can be a loose cannon. Cross the line, I'll call you bluff. Promise when push come to shove, but you don't want that smoke.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Rick Robinson Show. We are live right here on KLRNradio.com. We're also live across, at this point, should be Twitter, X. I guess they're actually changing the domain now, so I guess I should get used to calling it by its new name. Elon, why did you do this to us? Anyway, we're live across X, Facebook, and I believe Rumble as well, but I'll have to test Rumble because we just added that, and I don't know if that's working properly yet. It shows we're linked up over there. But so if anybody can see us on Rumble, let me know. In chat or in one of the social media platforms that you can currently see us on. Anyway, we're here, we're live, and there's tons of things to talk about. So the jury's been given their instructions. The instructions seem like they were delivered by a blind, drunk man who had no idea where he was, though, because the judge seems like he's pulled an idea out of his rear end. I'm trying to watch my language a little bit better since we're broadcasting all over the place right now. That may or may not hold, and we play a disclaimer for a reason, because we are not FCC regulated. I think this is why I might not be being asked to fill in on any local shows anymore. I think they're like, dude, he's gotten to the point where he cusses like a sailor. We don't know if we're going to have to use the dumb button or not. Anyway, I don't really, it's okay, one way or the other. But yeah, so the judges basically decided that if they agree that Trump is guilty on multiple of the 34 counts, whatever the hell they actually are, that even if it's like 4 agreeing on one, 4 agreeing on another, and 4 agreeing on another, he's going to consider that a unanimous guilty. I've never really, I've been told that's possible, but rare. I've never heard of anything so weird in my life. I'm just going to be honest. I have been following, for those of you that may be listening for the first time, since I'm going all over the place this is actually the first time we've tried to do this for real. I've tested it piecemeal here and there, but for those of you who are wondering, there will be video integration coming soon. Just not quite ready for that yet. And I don't think you guys are either, because as I have told everyone, I have a face made for radio and a voice made for mime, and I'm an occasional stunt double for the Michelin Man. Used to actually be my ex-bio back in the day. Anyway, so, but there's weirdness going on everywhere, right? So The first thing is, how the hell did we even get here? As I said at a piece that's going to come out for Twitchy shortly after I go off the air today, I feel like these are the things that we have laughed at about other countries for decades. You know, their whole, putting political dissidents on trial, and these are things that could never happen in America, and yet here we are. And if you really don't think that's what's happening, you really need look no further than Bobby De Niro hijacking the press yesterday to go on a Trump derangement syndrome tirade. And before anybody says anything, I didn't want to have to vote for Lord Spraytan again either. I really do not want the cauliflower in chief versus Lord Spraytan 2.0. However, this is where we are. This is where we seem to be. This is likely what is going to happen, whether we want it to or not. Anyway, so as far as all of that goes, now we get to see what happens next. If there happens to be a verdict today while we are live on the air, I will find it, we will jip it, so you guys will know as soon as we know. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's a Rushism, join in progress. Anyway, he's the only other person I ever heard use it, and I steal it every time I can, because I never thought I would be able to say, hey, we're going to join stuff in progress. Anyway, so here's the problem, though. I think that while the Biden administration is heavily relying on this guilty verdict, I mean, at this point, I feel like Marshawn's already been given his marching orders, so I don't think the jury's going to be released until they get a guilty. I think that's why he's trying to be so lenient about getting the guilty. And, well, even if you don't all agree on each count, if you 4 of you agree on one and 4 on the other and 4 on the other, we're going to take it. Does that seem weird to anyone but me? Because that seems really weird, really weird to me. But this is from Rebecca Downs, Town Hall. Of course, I work for the group, so of course I'm going to push them everywhere I can. I know that's self-serving, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. You don't like what I do? Start your own show. I'll even help you do it. Did Trump's trial help his chances? Let's see what the market suggests. President Joe Biden and his fellow Democrats are desperate for a former and potentially future President Donald Trump to be convicted in the hush money trial, and a verdict could come any moment now. They're almost certainly hoping that if they can hang the convicted felon label on Trump, enough people will rethink their vote for him. It's election interference at its worst, and the bizarre press conference that the Biden re-election campaign put outside the courthouse on Tuesday didn't help. But could the trial actually help Trump's chances? Polymarket currently has Trump with a 56% chance of winning the 2024 presidential election, while Biden has just a 37% chance. Former First Lady Michelle Obama has a 4% chance, which is actually slightly higher than the 2% chance of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's actually in the race. Trump was also leading Biden when the trial started on April 15th, but only 46 to 45%. So again, just rehashing those numbers, on April 15, Trump was expected to win 46%, Biden 45, RFK Jr. 3. Trump is now at 56%. That is a plus 19 swing. Biden is 37. RFK Jr. is down to 2. The Washington Examiner's Paul Bedard also highlighted how Sports Handle regards the race. The aggregator has Trump at a new high, with his chance of winning the presidency at 57.2%, while Biden is at 40.9%, having fallen from 47.1% at the end of April. Bedard noted a gap from 1 point to 16.3 points in a month. He also points to the effect the trial could be having, and even starts his write-up with such a point. The odds that former President Donald Trump will win back the White House have hit a new high, likely driven by the historic trial he's facing and the building list of failures facing President Joe Biden. Since the end of April, Trump has been locked in a New York courtroom to hear a hush money case against him featuring porn star Stormy Daniels and Trump's discredited former private lawyer. Leading pundits have slammed the government case and have Trump and has been forced to make short statements outside the courthouse. He's traveled on weekends for rallies. Polls have shown that the trial has helped Trump, as has his more focused statements and rallies. So I'm not going to read the rest of it. For those of you who would like to, you can always hit the chat room. You can find the link there if you want to read the rest of it later. But just to kind of reiterate these points, everything that the Biden administration is trying to do isn't working. It's not working. The problem is I don't even know if they realize that it's not working. I mean, he's got Corinne Jean-Pierre, or take your preferences to my favorite nicknames, either Corinne Jean-Air or Sideshow Bob, trying to make cases for him with the media, and it's not working. I mean, we've got a video we're going to be playing here in just a minute when we get back from the break, and that is coming up again here in a second, by the way, for those of you listening for the first time. We do take quite a lot of breaks here. It's not because I don't love you. It's because this is a completely solo show, and I have to get things set up on the breaks for each individual segment. That, and it's patterned after terrestrial radio anyway, so lots of breaks for reasons. All right, so we're going to take that first break now that I've mentioned it for those of you listening. Let's see, what do I want to go to break with? We're playing Bumper Roulette today because it's Chat Lives Matter Day. Oh, speaking of which, I got thrown off, so I forgot to say that. Happy Chat Lives Matter Day. We'll be back tonight for Chat Lives Matter Night, live right here on KLRN Radio. Full lineup tonight as far as I know, so starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, it'll be myself and Stacey Lennox doing the Whatever Show. That is the podcast for Gen X, about Gen X, where we talk about whatever's pissing us off, which is why the show is called Whatever. Then tonight is the once-a-month extravaganza known as Toxic Masculinity. We have our Babe of the Month. We will have G with us as far as I know. Andrew will definitely be there. Aggie is a maybe, and Orty might be out because he's having some family stuff going on, but we shall see. After that, we have Talk Murder to Me, KLRN Radio's newest addition to our lineup, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern with our very own Laura and a special, Laura and otherwise known as Bumpstock Barbie, her husband Bumpstock Ken, and a special guest commentator for the night. So make sure you guys join us for that. If Orty's out for the night, that will likely do it for us for the evening. If he's able to, then we will finish off the night with the Rick and Orty show. I work a lot around here if you're new. Anyway. So, you know what? Let's just go with this one. All right, we are going to take a very quick break. Well, I say quick break. Probably about 4 minutes. Give me time to get things reset. But you're listening to The Rick Robinson Show live right here on KLRNradio.com. Again, we do this thing every Monday through Friday between the hours of 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern. The only Monday that will not be happening is the first Monday of the month. It is my only day off. All right. We will be right back. You're listening to us live on KLRNradio.com. We are America's Podcast Network. Stay tuned.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com. You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes, because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back into the Wednesday edition, otherwise known as Chat Lives Matter Day edition of KLRNradio.com's The Rick Robinson Show. I am Rick Robinson. This is my show. I'm also the programming director around these parts. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday afternoon, so thank you so much for hanging out with us. Seeing lots of people starting to fill in through the streaming apps. So thank you guys for popping in, checking us out. Hopefully you hang out for more than a few minutes. And if not, thanks for stopping by anyway. So we're back, we're live, and we are going to keep rolling here. So, as promised, as we continue to explore the once great nation, the United States of America, now known as a banana republic, here is our very own press sec, Caringe on Air, aka Sideshow Bob, or Caringe on Air, depending on which nickname you prefer better. It's up to you. Anyway, so this happened. So this is our friends at PJ Media. I'm going to read this a bit before we go into the clip. So she actually stonewalled reporters' questions about the Dems being in full-blown freakout mode, which, again, if you're not sure they are, just go back and watch Bobby De Niro yesterday. So on Tuesday, reports surfaced the Democrats are in full-blown freakout mode over Joe Biden because of his poor polling. The report from Politico said there is a gap between what the Democrats say on TV or in print and what they'll text their friends, and there always is. Fox News White House correspondent Peter Doocy, love the Doocy, decided to confront White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre over the report, and the exchange went as well as you could expect. And here's the audio.
Thank you, Karine. Are you guys here at the White House in full-blown freakout mode?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
There's a Politico
Peter?
story. It sounds like Democrats outside, the quote is, Biden's stubbornly poor polling and the stakes of the election are creating the freakout.
So, again, I'm going to be mindful. I'm not going to comment on 2024 election. I will say this. The president has never forgotten where he came from, who he is. He understands what the American people are going through as they're sitting around the kitchen table. You hear the president talk about his time growing up, where he watched his family having to sit around the kitchen table, making incredibly difficult decisions. And the president has always said he's going to fight for communities that have been forgotten. And you see that in the policies, economic policies that he's put forward. He's going to continue to fight for the middle class. He's going to continue to fight in every way that he can. You heard me at the beginning talk about junk fees, incredibly important. And he's going to continue to fight and to make sure that corporation greed doesn't continue to take hold. That is something that he's been very clear about, while Republicans are doing the opposite. They put out a policy where they want to give a big tax break to the wealthiest among us, billionaires and corporations. That's not what the president wants to do.
On another topic.
Okay, so the only reason Joe Biden doesn't ever forget who he is because his name is sewn into his underwear. As far as forgetting where he came from, he doesn't know where he came from. He tells every crowd he's in front of, depending on where they are or where that crowd came from, that he's one of them. So problem number one is President Putinhead doesn't know where he is, who he is, or what he's doing. Let's face it, this has been the weekend at Bernie's presidency since 2021. And we know it. Everybody knows it. The problem is there's a side that needs it to be that so badly that they are still willing to sell themselves out to continue to prop up Biden like it's weekend at Bernie's. Now, what I do love, and I heard this the other day, I was looking for the audio, and I could have probably found it, but I've been scrambling to get things ready for tonight, too. I loved hearing Charlemagne the God when everybody's like, so why aren't you voting for Biden this time? He's like, I'm not Captain Save-A-Joe. I don't agree with the dude, and he's already basically said he's not voting for either one of them. If enough people stay home, it won't really matter anyway. I mean, my girlfriend has actually said she's not voting for either one either. I'm not going to try to change her mind about it. I thought about it, but I'm not. It's not worth it. Anyway, I'm not fighting that battle over Lord Spraytan. It's just not going to happen. Anyway, I know who I'm voting for. I hope by now you guys know who you're voting for. If you're still undecided, then please pay a lot closer attention to what is actually going on in front of you. I will never tell you who you should vote for. I will put the cases in front of you and let you make your own decisions, but I will never tell you who you should vote for. I will sometimes tell you who I'm voting for, because that's part of my job. But it doesn't mean that I expect you to always agree with me. As a matter of fact, I prefer when people don't always agree with me. There's an old saying, iron sharpens iron. The more we have to defend our positions, the more strong we are with those positions, and the more likely they are to change. If we just continue to surround ourselves with people that believe everything that we believe and parrot back everything that we want to hear, then we wind up like the Democrats. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? I guess I did. Never mind, can't take it back now. All right, anyway, so believe it or not, wow, it's already bottom of the hour. All right, so I guess it's about time to take another break. I know, some of you that are listening for the first time was like, damn, this guy takes a lot of breaks. It's just me, and I got to get the next segment ready. Don't judge me. You try to do this all by yourself. I'm just saying. All right, so, I don't know. Let's do this one. I like this one. Well, except now it went backwards. I Didn't tell you to do that. I don't know what just happened. All right. Now it's listening to me again. All right, taking a quick break. We will be right back. Again, you are listening to The Rick Robinson Show live right here on KLRNradio.com. For those of you listening on the feed, it may sound a little weird right now, but that's because I'm still trying to figure out how to get all the pieces to come together separately. We'll be right back.
I'm a legend, putting in work ever since I came. This ain't your umbrella, no, it can't stop my reign. You in the carpool, I'm in a different lane. I just wake up every morning, and go get the change. Do my own dirty work, and I won't get a stain. I'm too heavy in this.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
This song is called So Cold.
Crowded streets are cleared away one by one. Hollow heroes separate as they run. You're so cold, keep your hand in mine. Wise men wander while strong men die. Show me how it ends. It's alright. Show me how defenseless you really are. Satisfied in it.
And welcome back into the program, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is the Wednesday edition of the Rick Robinson Show. We still got, honestly, because I forgot to do this yet, if you're working for the weekend, now of course it's a short week for a lot of you, but if you're working for the weekend, we have officially made it to what is normally hump day. I don't know, when I had an extra day off, I used to consider Thursday hump day, depending on which day the day off fell on. Anyway, so we're halfway through the work week, if you're still counting Monday. So if you're working for the weekend, if you're on the East Coast, you got a little less than an hour and a half until quitting time. If you're in God's time zone here in Central Time Zone, you got about, 2.5. If you're on the West Coast, you still got like 4.5. And why the hell haven't you moved yet? And if you're on the Mountain Time Zone, nobody really cares. Just kidding. All right, so before anybody yells at me about that, that's actually an inside joke between myself and one of my hosts that actually lives in Mountain. He's always complaining that anytime he has to do a work meeting, they don't take into account that he lives in the Mountain Time Zone, and it makes things such a pain in the butt. And I'm like, that's because nobody really cares, dude. Just kidding. All right, anyway. They meaning his day job, not me. Anyway. All right, so we're here. We're live. It's a great day. It's Wednesday. Still looking to see if we're going to get a quick verdict. Everybody's like, if it's a quick verdict, it's probably going to be good for Trump. I don't think so. I honestly think Trump's best outcome is going to be hung jury. I think that's one of the reasons why the judge was like, you know what? If even 4 of you can agree on one charge and 4 of you on another and 4 of you on another, I'm going to take that. Anyway, so if you didn't think this country was a banana republic, I don't know. I'd neither have the time, the patience, or the crayons to illustrate this point for you, because it has become one, whether we want it to be or not. Now we have to decide what we're going to do about it while we still can. Anyway, so this is from Star Parker at Town Hall, and pretty simple. I mean, it's an opinion piece, but it's Biden's democracy smokescreen, and I couldn't agree with that more, because he's using very specific words to try to gaslight the American people. President Joe Biden makes no speech without mentioning the importance of democracy in our nation. We would like to believe this comes from deep ideals about human liberty lodged within our president. But more accurate is that Biden, a politician all his adult life, is defined by just that, politics. No word, no act emanates from our president that does not emerge from some political calculation. In the case of the ongoing reminders about the importance of democracy, the subliminal message Biden wishes to convey is to always remind of the January 6, 2021 assault on the Capitol and to brand Donald Trump as an anti-democratic autocrat. But let's go beyond this and examine Biden's premise about democracy itself. In Biden's latest speech on Memorial Day, he said, "Our democracy is more than just a system of government. It is the very soul of America." So first of all, I thought the people were the soul of America. It's what I've always believed. Hanging on a wall in my office in Washington, D.C. is a picture of Booker T. Washington with this quote saying, "A lie doesn't become truth, wrong doesn't become right, and evil doesn't become good just because it is accepted by the majority. And I feel like he's telegraphing a lot there. Anyway, an important reminder from Booker T. Washington, founder of Tuskegee University, is that there is good and evil in this world, and they are transmitted to us through the Bible and our faith. Democracy can only be the means through which a nation accepts or does not accept these eternal truths, but democracy does not invent them. We should recall again the words of President George Washington in his farewell speech in 1796. Of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. Whatever may be conceded to the influence of refined education on minds of peculiar structure, reason, and experience both forbid us to expect that national morality can prevail in exclusion of religious principle. In the 1850s, Senator Stephen Douglas of Illinois proposed to use democracy to solve the problem of whether slavery would be permitted in new states entering the Union. The Kansas-Nebraska Act provided that new states would determine by vote whether it would be a slave state. Abraham Lincoln rejected this proposition. Per Lincoln, Judge Douglas interrupted me to say that the principle of the Nebraska Bill was very old and that it originated with when God made man and placed good and evil before him, allowing him to choose for himself, being responsible for the choice he should make. The facts of this proposition are not true as stated, said Lincoln. God did not place good and evil before man, telling him to make his choice. On the contrary, he did tell him that there was one tree of the fruit of which he should not eat upon pain of certain death. What really interests Biden is growing government to advance his left-wing agenda, thereby diminishing individual freedom. In 1950, shortly after World War II, federal government spending accounted for 14.1% of GDP. Per the Congressional Budget Office in 2024, federal government spending will consume 23.1% of GDP. In 2034, 24.1%. In 2044, 25.7%. And in 2054, 27.3%. Social Security trustees now project bankruptcy of the system by 2023. Revenues will fall short by 21%. Why doesn't Biden support letting every American choose to opt out and instead invest in their own private retirement account? Because it's become the government slush fund. That's why. I don't know if it was true at the time or not. I know that one of the things that I remember my dad talking about when I was a kid was Reagan's whole Social Security lockbox idea, that apparently these funds were supposed to be locked away and never to be touched. I have been told that thing never existed. I've also been told that at some point the powers that be got rid of it and started raiding it for their own use. Either way, this is why they won't let it go now. When you and I try to invent a Ponzi scheme, we go to jail. When the government does it, they get applause. It's just how it works. But it's just like the other thing is, why doesn't Biden support the right of parents to send their child to whatever kindergarten through 12, public school, private school, whatever that they choose? Because then everybody's going to understand how broken our education system really is. There are schools that work. There are schools that don't. A lot of the schools that work are going above and beyond what the government calls for because they have access to additional funding for whatever reason. Now, this is something that I talk about on almost every single show. If the Democrats are the party that they say they are, why is it when a person of color actually does good and leaves the slums and gets out of the ghetto and gets a good paying job and finds their own version of whatever the American dream is for them? Because that's the other thing. There is no cookie-cutter approach to the American dream, no matter what the government tries to tell you. But that being the case, why is it that when that happens, the left calls them an Uncle Tom? I don't know if any of you listening have done this, but you really need to look up the inspiration for the character Uncle Tom, because he wasn't who the left plays him out to be. He was someone who fled a plantation, fled to Canada, and started a network to get slaves who were freed to Canada and completely away from slavery. How did that name become a pejorative? if these people are the people that they tell us they are. It's simple. They can tell us who they are, but they also show us who they are. We choose to believe their words and not their actions. The left having higher education on fire right now, and a vast number of leftist college students simping for terrorists should tell you everything that you need to know about the current state of our country, yet we still want to argue about it and talk about how Trump is the bad guy, Trump is the terrorist, Trump is the dictator, Trump is the guy who wants anarchy, Trump is the guy who, once he gets into office, he's never going to leave. If that were the case, he wouldn't have left in January of 2021. Not only did he leave, he left before checkout time. Your time in the White House, should you be lucky enough to land there, is a 4 to 8 year stay in a hotel. You are required to be out by 11 a.m. so that the new occupant can be in by 1 p.m. If Donald Trump was half the monster the media and everyone else has made him out to be, he would have never left. And before anybody says, well, he left because he didn't have a choice, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen situations like this play out all over the world. And as I have said on this show repeatedly, if he really wanted to stay, all he would have had to have done was find a junior officer with delusions of grandeur and a need for ambition and said, I'm keeping this place, you help me keep it. Well, what do I get out of it? You're my new chief of staff, whatever. And that would have been the end of it. It's just as possible for it to happen here. Everybody pretends it's not, but it is. The problem that I see is with everything that we're watching go on right now, there is one side that is acting a lot more like an authoritarian than the other. I may not agree with a lot of things the Republicans are trying to do, but I agree with almost nothing the Democrats are trying to do right now. For those of you that may be listening for the first time, I happen to be a libertarian. I'm kind of ashamed to say that today, but I am. I was a conservative Republican until 2015. In 2015, I was so disillusioned with how things were going with the party that I basically had been a fan of since Reagan when I was in second grade and watched him be shot on TV and basically shrug it off. But with everything that I saw Trump doing and saying, I couldn't do it anymore. So 2015, 2016, I started finding ways, because I had a lot of friends here in Oklahoma who were libertarians, and they've been trying for a long time to get ballot access in their mind fixed in Oklahoma, so I got behind helping them do that. And then in 2016, I had the head of the Libertarian Party, Nicholas Sarwark, on my America Off the Rails show, which I now do on Sunday nights, on several times. Until at one point, he looked at me and said, we don't really want disaffected Republicans in the Libertarian Party. This was during a break. And I said, okay, that's fine. We'll finish the rest of the show since you've been invited on. There's only about 20 minutes left anyway. And then this will probably be the last time you and I speak. And we finished the show, and that was the last time we spoke. Of course, he made mention during the break of, please don't tell anybody that I've said this, but this is what we want. And of course, I told everyone. And I have mainly held on to my libertarian registration only because I feel like it gives me more freedom to punch both of the major parties. Not because I agree with their platform. I am someone who does believe in a lot of things the Libertarian Party used to stand for. I just don't know if they stand for them anymore. But that's my choice, not yours. But the whole reason I bring this up is because we keep talking about all these things as if they should be choices, and they're not being allowed to be choices. Why is it that we can't send our kids to whatever school is going to best suit them? As somebody that has raised my kids and now is having grandkids, I want my grandkids to go to the best possible school for them without my kids necessarily having to move. But the other thing that we've gotten away from in this country is the founders of our country conceived a nation rooted in core beliefs and truths. We've gotten away from those things. Everybody asks me when that started in earnest. I don't know when it started in earnest, but I can tell you when the nail in the coffin happened. It's when they started using the phrase my truth instead of the truth, because your truth is an opinion dressed up as a fact. There are immutable truths in this world. There are also opinions in this world. Changing the word opinion to my truth doesn't make it a fact. It still makes it an opinion. It's a fancier opinion. It sounds more solid for people that don't understand the nuances to the language that you changed, but it doesn't change where we are. We are now embracing opinion as if they are fact, and it is causing everyone to twist in the wind. There's no other way to say it. We don't have any anchoring values in this country anymore, and the fact that the people that do have them are a shrinking minority, and it's shrinking more and more daily. If you look at most recent polling, only 37% of people below the age of 30 consider themselves patriots. Only 35% believe the country is a good country. These are terrifying numbers. And it means we have failed an entire generation of people. Now, as they begin to have to get out into the world, some of their ideals may change, but the problem is they can't really seem to manage to do that right now. That's the other thing. As somebody that has been doing this for a long time and been watching things for a long time, one of the things that drives me absolutely crazy is hearing all the Gen Zers and everybody else talk about, well, when Gen X was younger, you guys could go out and find your own place, and you could do that, and you could do this, and we can't do any of those things, blah, 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 blah. The first time I lived on my own, I lived with 4 other people. But I didn't have a choice. Because my mom flat out told me that the only way that I could still stay in her house was if I kept going to college. So as a senior in high school, after I graduated, I enrolled in a 2-year college that was right down the street from me. And I had everything planned out. I was going to go into the ministry. I was going to do this. I was going to do that. And I was going to do the 2-year school first so that I could get a lot of my credit hours out of the way for the foundational work a lot cheaper. Then I was going to transfer to a 4-year university, get my seminary degree, and it was going to be nothing but me doing what I thought I was supposed to do from that point forward. And then, irony of ironies, I discovered I had a terrifying fear of public speaking. I know. You're like, dude, you're speaking publicly right now. I know. I don't have it as badly as I used to. I will say, and this is probably going to be one of the last points I make before we go to top of the hour, something that I have learned along the way is most of my problem when it came to public speaking was me not understanding where the nerves came from and what they represented. Because I'll be honest, I've been doing this now for going on 17 years in one form or another. And I still get nervous every time I'm about to get in front of a microphone, whether I'm doing it from my home studio or in an actual studio or wherever. As soon as the on-air light comes on, I feel like I'm going to puke in my shoes. It's just the way it is. But somewhere along the way, I started figuring out that the nerves didn't really mean what I thought they meant. If that makes sense, and it may not. But let's assume for the moment that it does, because what I figured out is the nerves were just energy that my body didn't know what to do with yet. So if I refocused those nerves and put them into what I was trying to do, eventually I found my footing. The reason I say that is because I get emails from people all the time and messages from people all the time. I don't know how you do what you do. I couldn't do what you do. It's terrifying to do what you do. It is. I'm not going to pretend it's not. It still causes me anxiety from time to time. as weird as that may sound. But if it's something you really feel like you're supposed to do, eventually you're either going to find out how to do it on your own, or life is going to make you figure out how to do it on your own. Which is why it took me a very long time to get here, and a very long, circuitous route to do all the things that I feel like I was called to do. I did eventually get my ministry degree years later, after being thrown out of my mom's house and having to go move in with other people and spend a lot of my early 20s bouncing from, staying with this person, staying with that person. But we didn't have a choice. And I'm not saying that my early adulthood was any better or worse than anybody else's early adulthood. I'm just saying we were basically told we had to figure stuff out on our own. A lot of y'all don't have to do that today. I think that may be one of the reasons why maybe my generation's at first, maybe we were a little bit jealous, and now we're just like, y'all are still in the basement, though. When are you going to get out of mom's basement? Anyway, I digress, only slightly. But the one thing that I will say as we get ready to go back around the top of the hour is I can firmly tell you with 1,000% certainty that our founding fathers would not recognize America today. And if they could, they would probably kick our asses because of what we've allowed to happen. Final scary thought as we get back around to hour 2. There are more people below the age of 30 now that believe communism is a better answer than capitalism. Remind me again how our education system has not failed our youth. I'll wait. All right. Well, we are going to... I don't know why it keeps doing that to me today. It's never done that before. Sorry, I keep trying to change songs and it keeps popping up weird stuff on me. Anyway, it's new. It hasn't done that before. All right. What do I want to go to break with? We'll do this one. All right, folks. You are listening to The Rick Robinson Show live right here on KLRNradio.com. We are at top of the hour, so we're going to have to take a quick break. Hour 2 coming at you on the other side. Stay tuned.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com. You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandra, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes, because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Hand on the Bible, I'm a decent man. No, I ain't perfect, but I'm learning how to be the best I can. But I got demons collecting dust, and I buried them so damn far down so they can't find their way back up. So don't mistake my kindness for weakness, cause I can flip that switch, and you can find out quick. There's a hell on the other side that you ain't met yet. Tread real light, dare you to light that fuse, cause I can be a loose cannon. Cross the line, I'll call you bluff. Promise when push come to shove, but you don't want that smoke. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
And welcome back into hour 2 of the Rick Robinson Show, the Chat Lives Matter Day edition, live right here on KLRradio.com. Again, we do this thing every Monday through Friday, except for the first Monday of the month, 3 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern. May actually be moving to 2 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern soon. Haven't decided yet. Toyed with the idea yesterday because I felt like I had way too much content. Today, I'm trying to get used to doing about 14 million different things, so I think for the near future, it may just stay 2 hours till I get everything ironed out, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, because, soon going to be integrating more video feature as well. I realized that earlier with these clips I've been playing, I could have been sharing screens with you guys, for those of you paying attention through Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else, and you could have been seeing what I was playing, and I was like, that's part of the reason we did this, dummy, and you weren't doing it. What are you going to do? All right, so anyway, so we're back. We're live. Speaking of, let's test that, if I can, because, I actually have something that, is it that one? I think it's that one. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna test that. So hang on a second. Trying to see if I can make it bigger first, though. That's what she said. I know somebody's gonna say it, so I beat you to it. You're welcome. All right. So this happened. This is from RNC Research yesterday. And this is our beloved fearless leader. That was sarcasm font, in case anybody was wondering. But so give this a listen. Well, hang on. Maybe. Is it going to play for me or not? Doesn't show that it's muted. Oh, I think I know why. Haha. You have a slider that's not working right, sir. That would be because there's still music playing somewhere, though, too. Haha. So let's fix that. All right. Hey, I told you guys up front, this is me doing all this by myself. At some point, I may actually bring in an executive producer. The more bells and whistles we add, the more likely that's going to have to be. But I think I figured out why it wasn't working now, so let's find out. All right, me trying to play this stupid clip. Again, here you go.
Mr. President, what's your message to Democrats who don't want you to run again?
They want me to run.
2/3 say they
Read
don't.
the poll. Read the polls, Jack. You guys are all the same. That poll showed that 92% of Democrats, if I ran, would vote for me.
A majority of Democrats say they don't want you to run again in 2024.
92% said if I did, they'd vote for me.
Mr. President, what's your message
gonna
to
let that run
Democrats who
again.
don't want you to run again?
They want me to run.
2/3 say they
Read
don't.
the polls. Read the polls, Jack. You guys are all the same. That poll showed that 92% of Democrats, if I ran, would vote for me.
A majority of Democrats say they don't want you to run again in 2024.
92% said if I did, they'd vote for me.
Mr. President.
Except that's not what that poll actually said. But even if that were the case, if 8% of Democrats vote for Donald Trump and all the Republicans vote for Donald Trump, which I get it, not everybody on the Republican ticket's going to vote for him either. But even if that were the case, you know what? Let's do this for now. Let's go back to the regular screen. Then we're going to pull up some polling information because it's what we do around here. And then just for fun, I actually have a This Week in Democracy we may play for the last part of the show because he's gotten to the point where he's doing like 4 of those a week anyway. So we may just start playing them more often, especially now that I can let you guys see them instead of just listening to them. So just for fun, let's go to one of the most leftist-leaning polling sites that I know. All right, so give me just a moment, and I'm going to let you guys kind of follow along with me here as I'm scrolling through these, because there's a lot of stuff. But this is from 538.com, so for those of you who know, actually, did that not do, hang on, let me see if it did what I wanted it to do. Apparently, I need to figure out what I'm doing there, because I didn't do what it's supposed to do. Bear with me. Nope, that didn't fix it. That didn't fix it. See, this is why we're testing things out, because I don't know why it's doing this. That shouldn't... There we go. Well, no, that's what I wanted it to look like, but now it's not doing it. It's got the graphic over it instead, and it's not the right window anyway. All right, so never mind. We're just going to do that because, like I said, still trying to figure some of this stuff out. I promise for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, it'll get a little bit better. Or it may not. You never know. Anyway, so this is from... the YouGov poll, this is from May 25th to May 28th through The Economist, showing Biden at 48% or 40%, Trump at 41%, so that's +1 for Trump. President general election, Nevada 2024, this is from May 25th. This is from Breaking Battleground. Pollster was the Tyson Group. For some reason, they're showing 2 different polls, though. Which is kind of weird. Anyway, Biden 44%, Trump 47%, so that's +3. General election as of May 23rd. This is pretty much everywhere. Trump +4. I mean, there's only there's like 2 polls that he's winning in that I can see. The League of American Workers has Biden up +5. That's not surprising. Everywhere else is Trump +1, Trump +2, +1, +4, +5, +2, +4, +3, +5, +3, +2, +6, +8, +8, +3, +4, +2. Then when we get down into university polls, those start showing Biden +2. Florida Atlantic University Pollcom Lab Mainstream Research shows even split. Roanoke College Institution for Policy and Opinion Research shows Biden +2. Roanoke College Institution for Policy and Opinion Research for second poll, same time frame, shows even. So, I mean, I don't know where Joe Biden's getting his polling numbers from, but this goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning of hour one. The Democrats are in panic mode. You know this because for months, I mean, you have to understand this Trump trial thing has been going on for months. The trial phase itself has been going on for weeks. And Joe Biden and the Democratic Party as a whole has been trying to stay out of it for the most part. Other than Joe taking some cheap shots here and there, you know, maybe we should debate on a Wednesday. Everybody knows you're free on Wednesdays. But, so we're dealing with all of that, but at the same time, you've got Democrats behind closed doors saying something completely different than they're saying in public. But this goes back to everything that I've been trying to say for the longest time. Everybody gets mad about the Republican Party because we have our fights in the open, and it makes us seem a lot more unstable. And there are times that I would agree. I mean, I don't think we should have gone through the mess that we went through with McCarthy months ago. Everybody seems to think that, well, for 5 minutes that we were going to get a better speaker out of Johnson. I'll let you decide that because he's done a lot of things that McCarthy would have gotten McCarthy did get tossed out for. I think at this point, everybody's just kind of figured out that, you know, it's too late. Too close to an election. We can't do this again. It's not that, you know, not even that Marjorie Taylor Greene wasn't trying, because she sure did, but a lot of Democrats swooped in and saved him. Everybody was mad about that too. Ladies and gentlemen, I will say this. If we win this time, we need a majority everywhere. And we need to make sure that happens. That's why I'm saying, if you are one of these people that thinks you can stay home because you think your side's going to win, you really can't. Because at this point, every vote matters for so many different reasons. The only way the left is going to accept this election is if not only Trump wins the Electoral College resoundingly, but he's actually going to have to win the popular vote too. So for everyone who says, well, my vote doesn't really matter because my state's going to go red one way or the other, and I've been there. You guys have to understand, if you've been listening to this show, especially for the last few years, you've listened to me go from I'm never voting to that man again to, well, now he's the nominee, but I still don't really know if I want to vote for him. And every time he's been on the ballot, all 77 counties in my state have gone red anyway, to, all right, now I'm going to vote for him because you're pissing me off. And it's kind of the same transition I went through between 2016 and 2020. Because in 2016, I didn't vote for him either. I didn't want to vote for him. I couldn't stand the idea of voting for him. 2015, 2016 was when this stuff really started taking off for me, and I started covering political conventions. We did our first convention here in Oklahoma City at SRLC 15. First time that I knew of that it had ever been anywhere local to me. So I took a shot. At that point, really nobody knew who I was. So I didn't figure it was going to happen. I put in for press creds, and the next thing I know, they're like, we're so glad to have you here. And I'm like, you don't even know who I am, but thank you. And we covered the entire thing. One of my regular hosts on here, one of the ones who started this journey with me years ago, actually was the first and only time we've met in person because he lives in Alabama. He made the trip up, and we covered the entire thing. He actually got to interview one of his heroes, and I got to interview quite a few of mine. Actually, he got to interview two people that he really, really wanted to interview, and I let him have him. He got to interview Scott Walker, which he was really, really happy about, and up until SRLC 15, everybody thought Scott Walker was going to run away with it. And he didn't. That's why in this business, I tell everybody, politics is a game of inches for one, but it's also a game of eternities, because for every week that you are in the spotlight, that is an eternity. There's no telling what could go wrong between now and Election Day. That's why these polls don't really matter very much. But they do start showing, as my friend Gene pointed out yesterday, they do start showing trends, and they do start showing places where campaigns should maybe start allocating resources to see if they can help swing numbers the other way, or maybe continue to swing numbers the other way, or whatever the case may be. That's why wonks like me still like to watch the polls. I know, giggity. Get over it. Anyway, speaking of polls, we'll have polls tonight on toxic masculinity too. Andrew always brings the polls. Okay, I've done it to myself. This is contractually required now.
Giggity, 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 let's have sex.
All right, anyway. Made myself cough there. Sorry about that. All right. So, look, folks, I don't know what's going to happen between now and Election Day. I do know that I think the Democrats have overplayed their hand when it comes to the lawfare with President Trump. And that is what this is. Nobody can say otherwise at this point. You know how I know that it's what it is? One, De Niro coming out yesterday pretty much proved it. Two, Joe Biden already has remarks prepared that he's going to be giving from a White House setting once the verdict comes down. And he's so convinced that it's going to be a guilty verdict in one form or another, which with 34 separate charges to bank on, I mean, odds are in his favor. I hate to say that, but they are. He's already having his team toy with the idea of starting to portray Trump as convicted felon Donald Trump. I'm telling you guys right now, if this happens, I know the left is hoping that if this happens, it's going to change people's minds about voting for him. I think they're right. But I think they're wrong in which direction it's going to change them. We went over the numbers earlier. There's been a 16-point swing going up for Trump since April when all this started. Do you think, I mean, if he's found not guilty, numbers are probably going to stay the same. If it winds up being a hung jury, it's probably going to go up just a little bit more because it got that close. If he actually gets convicted, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins every damn state. Because everybody but the Democrats can see this for what it is. And some of the Democrats I know are looking at this going, we never should have done this. I don't know what he's thinking. All this is going to do, I mean, I wish I had it queued up and ready to go, because this would be a perfect time to play the line from Star Wars Episode 4 where Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader are standing in the reactor room or whatever it is, and he's like, if you strike me down, I will come back stronger than ever before. And then that's basically what happened. But I feel like we're kind of watching the real world version of that right now, because every time they have tried to come at Donald Trump, they have missed, and they have missed badly. And some of these things have drawn out for so long that now even some of the surefire cases that everybody was convinced they had him on, even I was yelling and screaming about the documents case. Like, why didn't you just give them back? Why couldn't you just say, okay, here they are, come get them? Because, again, he's Lord Spraytan, and sometimes he's his own worst enemy. My name's Rick Robinson, and I approve this message. But at the same time, now it's come out that a lot of the pictures that they leaked for the media were doctored. That they were the ones that strewn a lot of the pictures that showed the top secret class, or the papers that showed the top secret classifications for the photos and everything else. This is what I'm talking about. You're now, and again, I keep, in all these threads, because I almost wrote up a story about Geraldo today for Twitchy, and I just couldn't, I couldn't do it. I used to love picking on him when I first started writing for them, but after a year, I'm just like, you know what? I got to find another punching bag. But anyway, one of the things that I see all the time, anytime I start wading into these, commentary feeds from people that are like, well, this is kind of important and this may happen with his trial and blah, 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 is all these people going, well, you have to understand that for a prosecutor to do this, there has to be some there. I'm like, did you not understand how all of this started? This is at heart a Federal Election Commission offense. And they said no. Alvin Bragg's boss originally said no. Alvin Bragg then got the job and originally said no. Somebody that was under him left his office and wrote a book slamming the fact that he wasn't willing to do whatever it took to get Donald Trump. And then all of a sudden, Alvin Bragg decided he was willing to do whatever it took to get Donald Trump. So he's figured out how to bootstrap an expired misdemeanor by changing the statute of limitations. He's now bootstrapped and jumped up an expired misdemeanor charge into, 34 federal felonies? Or 34 state felonies, most of which should be federal charges to begin with. But here's the thing, folks. Let's just say for the sake of argument that everything that the left wants to happen happens and it goes exactly how they think it's going to go. So Donald Trump gets convicted. It convinces enough people to either stay home or change their vote where Joe Biden gets elected again. And then a year or two later, when the appeals court finally comes down, or God forbid it has to go all the way to the Supreme Court, and then maybe 3 years later, that conviction gets overturned. If you thought Donald Trump had grounds to call an election stolen in 2020, and I am one of those people, because I watch things happen that have never happened before, and I've been doing this for a long time, but if you thought he had grounds for it in 2020, if he is found guilty and it dissuades people from voting for him, and then that conviction is tossed out later, which it is going to be tossed out later, let's make no mistake about it. It's probably going to take going all the way to the Supreme Court, because if, and it is a big if, that there is a guilty verdict, I'm going to check for that on the break, because I hate to be saying that, and then, well, they've already found him guilty, dumbass. I have breaking news alerts on my phone, so I trust that if it was out already, I would know. But I'm still going to look on the break in a minute. But at the same time, if he's found guilty, and it's a big if, and eventually, even if it's a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, it's thrown out on appeal. If you thought they were pissed on January 6th, oh my God, do you realize what you've probably done? But this is the same warning I keep giving to Gen Z, because they've decided they want a generational war, like apparently happened with boomers and millennials. I don't really know what happened there, because boomers and millennials have been fighting now for decades. Now all of a sudden, Gen Z's decided they want to pick a fight with Generation X. First of all, they don't call us the forgotten generation for nothing. People leave us alone for a reason. We are the generation who did all the things that we never should have done and lived to tell the tale. We're the survivors of one of the most feral generations in history. We're also one of the smallest generations in history, because there are a lot of people that didn't make the cut. But it's why, for you Gen Zers, or as I'm starting to call them, you Generation Zoomers, or even Generation or start calling you Zoomers or Zoomies. I think I'm going to stick with Zoomies, because it fits. Especially if you know the definition of Zoomies when it comes to dogs and how they get excited and just start running all over the place and yipping and yapping and everything else. Kind of sums up most of Gen Z. I said most. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. You know who you are. Anyway, but yeah, so now they've decided they're picking a fight with us. Bad idea. You guys like your safe spaces. We didn't have those. We will come find you, and we will come own you. Might want to rethink this theory. All right, so we're going to take a break. I'm going to take a second, get caught up on the news feed, see if there's anything breaking that we need to join in progress, anything like that. But you are listening to The Rick Robinson Show, live right here on KLRMradio.com. And we will be back before you know it. Last break of the show. As long as there's nothing else we need to join into when we come back, we'll have an episode of This Week in Democracy. For those of you hanging out in the video format lands, you'll actually be able to see it as long as I can make it work right. I'm going to figure that out while I'm on the break too. So we'll be right back. Going to break with this one. So stay tuned, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. For those of you that have to go, for those of you sticking around to the end, thank you so much for listening. For those of you, whether you listen live, streaming, video streaming, audio streaming, podcast, wherever you might listen, thank you so much for taking the time to listen, because I know you literally have like a million choices of people you can listen to now. We'll be right back.
Oh, will you draw me out?
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler can use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop. Stop paying for shave you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month? What are you doing now? I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi everyone, this is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the number one way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real-life fighters, the real-life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes, because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
I've been up, I've been down, seen the world from the ground, but I hear the drumming. Now my veins are pumping. Scrape my knees, bruise my heart. Where you end, not where you start. I see them running.
All right, I think I might owe you guys listening on the radio side an apology, because on the radio side, I think y'all just got echo all through the commercial breaks, but it's because I forgot to flip a lever. Anyway, we're back. We're live. Video side's like, we don't know what you're talking about, but it's been kind of weird for us over here, too. Welcome to my world. Anyway, so we're here, we're live, and as promised, we are going to get through the end of the show. We have This Week in Democracy with my good friend Gene Baradelli, who actually does his own YouTube show 4 times a week. We've been streaming the audio version of it now for a while, but we can actually do the video formatted version now. So hang on, I gotta fix something. So I was trying to hide it from you guys while we were on break, but we're not on break anymore. So let's start making changes, shall we? All right. All right. So let's put that one back on there, and then go back over here. Actually, we'll go to this one. Excuse me. I'm playing with things while I'm in here. That sounded wrong. Sorry. Anyway, let's see. That's fixed. That's fixed. I still have audio playing somewhere, so I need to fix that. That would probably be you. Now I don't, so now we can go back over here. It'll take me a few sessions because I'm getting used to a new board too, but it's the only way I'm going to do it is just to do it. I'm one of those people, this is how I learn. I can have a million people show me how to do things, but I have to learn how to do them myself. It's just who I am. Anyway, so This Week in Democracy, the video version, coming at you live right here on KLRN Radio DB, which is now, well, actually is our broadcast license, but at the same time, now audio and video. Haha. I say that, but I still got nothing. Hang on. Is YouTube muted? Nope. But the volume was down still. That's weird. It wasn't muted in one panel, but it was in the other.
You are gangsters. You are gangsters. You're washed up.
Ain't nothing changed, nothing new here to see. This ain't nothing but some political maneuvering. America. Welcome to the eulogy. Eat it up. It's called political buffoonery.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Dumbmocracy, where we showcase some of the dumbest newsmakers of the week. Today is not only a pivotal day in the 2024 election cycle, but indeed in American history, because today a jury is going to start deliberating after a trial involving criminal charges against a former president of the United States. And while you can get your legal analysis on this choose-your-own-adventure type of trial involving a known liar being at the center of it all, Michael Cohen, I'm here to talk about the circus going on outside the trial.
Ready for the circus, Homer?
What you saw yesterday involving veteran actor and known Trump hater Robert De Niro having a press conference outside of Trump's trial while summations are going on was not only completely deranged, as is usual for Robert De Niro, but it represented a capitulation, a concession by the Biden campaign that they have been largely kept out of the spotlight thanks to Trump's masterful maneuvering in the media. We're going to go through the circus, and before we do that, I'm going to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other shows, and if you like what you see in here in this or any other video on the channel, I'm going to ask you guys to please smash that thumbs up button, like, comment, share the show with your friends, all that really, really good stuff, because all that feeds the YouTube algorithm.
Well, let's feed it.
Thank you guys for all that you've been doing to help grow the show. We're around 50 subscribers away from 2,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you. And for all you newbies out there, I hope you become one of the 50 that subscribe to the channel, and I hope that this video earns that subscription as we talk about the political backdrop, the drama behind the drama of the Trump trial happening in the People's Republic of New York City, and why this move of having Robert De Niro step up front and center outside of the courthouse was really a huge concession that Democrats think Joe Biden is in deep, deep trouble. This is how the Biden-Harris campaign opened this press conference featuring Robert De Niro and some other Democrats who were also Capitol Police officers turned politicians that were at the Capitol during J6.
First of all, let me say this first and foremost. We're not here today because of what's going on over there. We're here today because you all are here.
Now, if you believe that nonsense, there's a bridge close to this courthouse that goes between Manhattan and Brooklyn that I can sell you at a really, really cheap price.
I mean, it's such a desperate bid for attention.
Because, of course, the Biden-Harris campaign is here. This is where the media is because this is where Trump is. They're chasing their own coverage here. No one's showing up for a Biden-Harris press conference outside of this area. The story is and has always been this year about Donald Trump, whether it's the primary season or now when it's one-on-one, mano-a-mano between Trump and Biden. Trump is always the story. Trump has been proactive, speaking to the media. Biden has been reactive. And now they're coming to him. They're coming to the courthouse where he is to try to grab a little bit of that spotlight from Donald Trump. But they have to start off by saying, we're not here because of Trump. And if anybody believes that bridge, it's still available for you.
These are desperate monsters, desperate for attention.
And so we are proud. We are glad that you're all here this morning. We're here primarily because of the threat that Donald Trump poses to the United States of America and to our democracy. We are, of course, grateful to have two brave officers, Michael Fanone and Harry Dunn, who defended our democracy and our Capitol against the violent mob that Trump incited on January 6, 2020.
You see what they're doing here? They're trying to remind everybody about what happened 3 years ago. Don't pay attention to what the Biden administration has been doing while in office. We have to go back to before his inauguration to rehash what happened on J6. It's bad enough that there was a whole congressional committee. There was a whole report here. They have to keep bringing it up. They have to keep regurgitating this because that's all they have right now. They have no real record to really stand on. We've talked about inflation in past shows, how inflation has gone up substantially, and they can't even talk about it coming down. We've talked about disastrous military operation in Afghanistan and withdrawals. We've talked about his lack of empathy, his feeble mind, his feeble body, the different stories that he talked, especially when he was in Maui and things like that. This is all they have to cling on to at this point. Of course, they're hoping for a conviction, but in all honesty, will the conviction in this New York trial move the needle in any way, especially given Trump's handling of the media and the way this case has unfolded with no real legal theory, sort of a choose-your-own-adventure type of theory of criminality, actions that would normally not be considered criminal being criminalized by Alvin Bragg, and of course, Michael Cohen, a known liar, being caught in even more lies when he took the stand in this trial. So all Biden has is January 6th.
21 here with us. And of course, we are happy to have Robert De Niro, a native New Yorker who can spot BS a mile away and isn't afraid to call it out.
Oh, I'm sorry. They don't just have J6 to talk about. They have a known Trump hater, a known deranged Trump hater, Robert De Niro. And we're going to see that derangement on full display as he takes to the podium here in a prepared speech for the Biden campaign. Just so you know, it might be a little hard to hear Robert De Niro over a crowd of protesters that are supporting President Trump outside the courthouse. This gets pretty good.
Thank you. I mean, this is really, even these people over here are it's kind of crazy. It's really crazy, and this thing, Donald Trump has created this. He should be telling them not to do this, but he's just, he wants to sow total, he wants to sow total chaos.
Now that's real interesting. Let me ask you something, Bobby. Can I call you Bobby? Where were you decrying the protests happening in 2020 in Portland, where federal courthouses were on fire, or throughout the nation with the Black Lives Matter movement, or during the George Floyd protests? Where were you for all of that? Were you blaming Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for those riots, for those protests, just like you're trying to do here with this protest of pro-Trump supporters outside the courthouse? Or is it just disgusting because it's pro-Trump? Again, Robert De Niro is Trump deranged. So therefore, anything Trump related that is positive for him, like people showing up to support him at this criminal trial, is bad and must be decried. And you must point out that it's wrong because it's Trump related. Trump lives in Robert De Niro's head rent free. He's got a whole condo up in there,
which he's succeeding in some areas and places to do. Anyway, beside all that, this is my neighborhood, downtown New York City. I grew up here and feel at home in these streets. I feel comfortable. The Twin Towers fell just over here, just over there. This part of the city was like a ghost town. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists to change our way of life. And we started the Tribeca Festival to bring people back. I love this city. I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world.
Wait, you're serious?
Okay, do we think this is maybe just a little bit blown out of proportion? Donald Trump wants to destroy the city that he was born and raised in, that he made his millions in, that he changed the skyline of, that he defined the real estate market of. He wants to destroy that. No, I don't buy it. This is more exacerbation. This is more sky is falling mentality nonsense coming from deranged Trump people that are now in league with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
But we vowed we would not allow terrorists.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Was he really going to go there? Was he going to compare Donald Trump to a terrorist? I ask you guys, when is too far when it comes to political rhetoric? We talk a lot about lunacy, and we talk about hot messes in politics. We talk about, especially in the context of my book, which I'm pulling out right now, Schnooks, Crooks, Liars, and Scoundrels, a field guide to identifying political buffoons, available right now on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble, and other online bookstores. We've talked about triggers and hijacks, and we've talked about people using emotion to try to make their point and really losing the substance of what they're saying. Is he really going to compare Donald Trump to a terrorist, especially in the climate that we're in right now, when Israel is fighting off a terrorist organization like Hamas? Is that where we're going with this? This is blown completely and totally out of proportion.
I owe this city a lot.
Okay, he didn't go
That's
there.
why
Good.
it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street. Because he doesn't belong in my city. I don't know where he belongs, but he certainly doesn't belong here.
It's his city too.
We New Yorkers used to tolerate him when he was just another grubby real estate hustler masquerading as a big shot. A two-bit playboy lying his way into the tabloids, pretending to be a spokesperson for himself. He was calling it as himself for himself.
That made no sense.
Okay, does anybody understand what he's babbling about here? Stick to the script, De Niro. That's what you're good at. They clearly gave you a bunch of papers that you're reading off of right now. You keep trying to ad-lib. You're calling him possibly a terrorist. You almost went there. Now you're talking about he's a spokesman for himself and he was never really part of the city. Donald Trump, again, he reimagined the city skyline with his real estate projects and his efforts. He was part of the New York community. He was a part of the fabric of New York City. He's been in movies as part of the fabric of New York City. He was down at 9/11 that you had mentioned earlier.
Flashback. I have hundreds of men inside working right now, and we're bringing down another 125 in a little while, and they've never done work like this before. And they're hardworking people, but they've never seen anything like it, and they've never done work like this before. It's terrible. End of flashback.
All this revisionist history and this nonsense you're spewing right now is complete out-of-control political rhetoric. But please, continue, because this whole shrill, unhinged approach that you're taking, I'm sure the Biden campaign and Democrats around the country are absolutely loving it, that you're becoming the face of the Democrat opposition to Donald Trump at this point. I'm sure they're absolutely thrilled that this senior citizen who can't read words on a page at this point is out there being the face for Joe Biden.
To fool the press into inflating his net worth. A clown. But this city is pretty accommodating. We make room for clowns.
I mean, you're here.
We have them all over the city. People who do crazy things in the street, we tolerate it. It's part of the city, it's part of the culture. But not a person like Trump who will eventually run the country. That does not work, and we all know that.
You're saying the quiet part out loud.
Did he just say that Trump is going to eventually run the country? Clearly that's not on the script for the Biden campaign. Robert, supposed to be supporting Biden. Biden is supposed to be running the country and is going to be running it in the next 4 years. Trump is eventually going to run the country. I firmly believe that at this point. But to come out and say that when you're talking about Joe Biden and you're pro-Biden, kind of a bit of a slip up here. Stick to the script. You're an actor. That's what you're good for. Put on a good face. Right now, this is just not only bad acting, but bad reading, bad sight reading, and the tone is just so off.
Anyway, we make room for clowns, to each his own.
Prepare to fast forward.
Preparing to fast forward.
Fast forward.
Fast forwarding, sir.
If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave. You know that. He will never leave.
And where do you get that from? Because I could have sworn that there was an election in 2020, and I could have sworn that Joe Biden had been elected president, and I could have also sworn that Donald Trump left office after that election. He may not have been happy with the result. He may disagree with the result, but he certainly left office. Where are you getting this nonsense from? If he gets in there, he'll never leave. He got in there, and then he did leave. It's these contrivances, this imagination, this imaginary dictatorship that people are talking about. Where are we getting this from? This is the derangement. This is the lunacy. Trump is the trigger, and this is the emotional hijack that we talk about in my book.
What does that mean? Is
Yeah,
that the
I'd like to know.
country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
Who's actually
I hope
acting more
this
like a
new ad
dictator, though?
campaign
I know this is supposed to be
reaches
Gene's show, but
outside
I'm
the
just
bubble
asking.
to remind supporters of what a danger he is to our lives.
Yeah, because this entire speech just screams reaching a hand across. And when we come back from the break, we're going to show you what Robert De Niro means by reaching a hand across the aisle to Trump's.
It's time to retrieve all those files you thought you lost.
If you have data stored on a laptop or computer that no longer works, then this is for you. This is the recovery
All right,
converter
well,
from
since some of you
Zilkey,
can
and it
see this,
literally
I'll
retrieves
let
your
the
data in
ad
just
play, I
seconds.
guess.
It connects to literally any of your hard drives and instantly retrieves all your data in just seconds. It reads up to 3 hard drives simultaneously and has 6 terabytes of storage capacity that transfers files at an insane speed. It can also retrieve data from
I'm
phones
not
and
letting the
tablets.
second one
It's so
play, though.
simple to
Love you,
use.
Gene.
What impressed me the most is that, even if the hard drive was locked with a password, it can still retrieve all the files. My laptop no longer turns on at all, and I was still able to retrieve all the data from the hard drive. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. It's the perfect tool to duplicate, copy, backup,
these
or
AI
transfer
videos
large
are
amounts of data in the
Am I the only
safest
one
way
that hates
possible.
these things?
Don't wait till
Maybe
it's
it's
too
just
late
me.
to try to save your files.
Anyway,
The
I know
Zilkey
it's not
website is
cool to
running a
talk over somebody
30%
else's
off
ad,
sale.
but I'm annoyed.
Don't miss out.
All right, we're
Support.
skipping that one. Back.
Like what you see so far? Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Also, leave us a comment and tell us what you're thinking. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another show. So, Trump deranged actor Robert De Niro thinks that he's going to reach across the aisle to Trump supporters, show them the error of their ways in this ad campaign for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So let's take a look at the outreach of Robert De Niro with his people in downtown Manhattan.
You are gangsters. You are gangsters. Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't think that Robert De Niro is the guy to reach out to Trump supporters. This isn't the way to do it. I can't think of any campaign consultant that would recommend this course of action in the course of a campaign when you're representing a candidate. And again, they trotted this guy out in front of these pro-Trump people. And this is the result they get. You know what? They deserve this.
You're salty. You're a nobody. Your movie sucks. You're trash. You're trash. You're done. You're done after this guy. You're
Oh boy, the crowd let him have it. That's Robert De Niro's idea of outreach to the people. That's his way to reach across the aisle to pro-Trump supporters, to call them names, to curse at them, and to walk away surrounded by security, surrounded by police, while they're outside supporting Donald Trump. Kind of crazy when you think about it, but hey, this is part of the unforced errors that's going on with this campaign. The Biden-Harris campaign trotting out Robert De Niro with his unhinged, shrill message is the latest in many unforced errors from the Democrats, who are now, according to Politico, in full-blown freak-out mode over Biden. Let's get into this story from Politico. A pervasive sense of fear has settled in at the highest levels of the Democratic Party over President Joe Biden's re-election prospects, even among office holders and strategists who had previously expressed confidence about the coming battle with Donald Trump. All year, Democrats have been on a joyless and exhausting grind through the 2024 election. It's only been a couple of months, guys. A joyless and exhausting grind? That speaks volumes for what Democrats are enduring with Joe Biden, his feeble mind, his feeble body, with the Biden record, with Kamala Harris as the vice presidential nominee, and with Donald Trump just consuming all the media, sucking the air out of every room he's in, having all coverage be about him and what he thinks, rather than what the Biden campaign wants to get out there. But now, nearly 5 months from the election, anxiety has morphed into palpable trepidation. Oh, you gotta love the wordplay. According to more than a dozen party leaders and operatives. And the gap between what Democrats will say on TV or in print and what they'll text their friends has only grown as worries have surged about Biden's prospects. Ooh, baby, stick this right in my veins. I love the word. Listen, Christopher Caldelago, Sally Goldenberg, Elena Schneider. What poetry, what beautiful language here to express the fear and loathing that Democrats are feeling right now with Joe Biden, especially given the state of the election and what Donald Trump has been doing with all the lawfare that has been thrown at him. It continues on, quote, "We don't want to be that guy who is on the record saying we're doomed or the campaign's bad or Biden's making mistakes. Nobody wants to be that guy," said a Democratic operative in close touch with the White House and granted anonymity to speak freely. But Biden's stubbornly poor polling and the stakes of the election are creating the freakout, he says. This isn't, oh my God, Mitt Romney might become president. It's, oh my God, the democracy might end. They believe their own bullshit, by the way. Democracy is going to end because of Donald Trump? Really? It didn't happen in 2020. What makes you think it's going to happen now? Despite everything, and by everything, I think they mean the lawfare going on, Trump is running ahead of Biden in most battleground states. We've discussed that in previous videos. We're going to put them up in the right-hand corner of the screen so you can view them later. He raised far more money in April, and the landscape may only become worse for Democrats with Trump's hush money trial concluding and another, this one involving the president's son, set to begin in Delaware. So the lawfare is going to shift focus from President Trump, who has made as much political hay as he possibly can with this whole show trial, this fake trial happening in the People's Republic of New York City, for things heretofore had not been criminal, to what's going to be going on with Hunter Biden. And I assume it's going to be tax evasion. It's going to be that gun possession stuff that's happening in California as well. And a whole lot of bad things happening for the Biden team very soon. The concern has metastasized in recent days as Trump jaunted to some of the country's most liberal territories, including New Jersey and New York, to woo Hispanic and Black voters as he boasted, improbably, that he would win in those areas. Now, again, I said this in yesterday's video, and you can check that out in the upper right-hand corner as well. Is Trump going to win the People's Republic of New York? I doubt it. Is he going to win New Jersey? Highly unlikely. What he is going to do is keep Biden going back to secure areas to make sure they're more secure, because Trump is making some inroads there with non-white voters. I'm going to let you guys read the rest of this article later on. I'm going to put a link in the description about it. But let's just say it doesn't look good for Joe Biden. And sending out Robert De Niro to be his spokesperson in this climate turned out to be just another unforced error on top of all the gloom and doom happening in his campaign. The lesson to be learned from all of this is that politics really is, as they say in the musical Evita, the art of the possible. Donald Trump has been dealt a very tough hand by the Democrats, especially with all this lawfare going on. But he's taken that hand and he's turned it into a groundswell of popularity that has expanded his base, not only among his previous coalition, but to now more non-white voters out there. The numbers in battleground states, as we've discussed in previous videos, is proof of that. CNN was freaking out at those numbers as Donald Trump is close to 270 even as we speak, if these numbers hold. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has been allowing Trump to have all the oxygen in the room at these trials. The press is lining up to hear from him every single day. They're following every single minute of this trial, and who knows what's going to happen with subsequent trials to come. The lawfare has been falling apart, whether it be Fani Willis or whether it be the documents trial, where we see Judge Cannon is kind of seeing through the Department of Justice's case. Who knows what's going to happen with these things? We don't think they're going to happen this year, that's for sure. And meanwhile, Biden has been, well, what has he been doing? There's no landmark legislation for him to hold on to. There's been disastrous policies, whether it be the withdrawal from Afghanistan, out of control inflation, more money coming out of the Americans' pockets. We all feel this pain, and we're all looking to the White House to cure it. And what are they saying? Well, I inherited 9%, as was featured in last week's videos, when he actually inherited 1.4% inflation. But hey, he's bringing it down from its height that he was the president for. It's not great news for the Biden campaign. Joe Biden is seen as old, weak. He has no real policies to latch onto. People are hurting at the pump. They're hurting in their wallets. And they see Donald Trump and they remember the good old days of the Trump administration. Sure, he was mean and he was on Twitter all the time. But you had more money in your pocket. We weren't involved in wars. The world wasn't on fire. Maybe that's what people are gravitating towards now, regardless of what comes of this verdict tomorrow. It's a pivotal moment, as I said at the beginning of this video, folks. Let's see how history unfolds, and let's see what happens the next day when everybody has to go to the polls to determine this nation's future. But listen, that's just my opinion about all this situation. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Let's get into the comments together, and as always, like and share the show with your friends, subscribe to the channel, hit that dang notification bell so you don't miss any other shows. I'll see you guys in the comments discussing this video, as well as any other breaking news that happens today, and any discussion about the shenanigans and buffoonery happening around all that news this week in Dumb Democracy.
And as always, as you can see right there, don't forget Schnooks, Crooks, Liars, and Scoundrels, available on Amazon.com. I'm Rick Robinson. This has been my show.
Expressed here, not necessarily of the mainstream media. It may offend some listeners. It's called political buffoonery.
But we are long, so we've got to go. All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday afternoon. Make sure you come back here in a couple hours, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Will be the Whatever Show with myself and Stacy, followed by the Toxic Masculinity Show with myself, G, Andrew, hopefully Aggie, and Amish and our baby of the month, and then later tonight, Talk Murder to Me, and then after that, hopefully myself and Amish. I say hopefully because his participation is still somewhat up in the air for this evening. So we will find out, but at this point I don't have to tell you this particular show is over, and I'll be back with you one way or the other tomorrow afternoon, same time, same channel, same streaming platforms. Bye, everybody.
What? Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world.
This isn't over until I say it's over!
Closing time.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? Game over, man. It's game over.
Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. Closing time. This room won't be open till your brothers or your sisters come.
I love you, Oklahoma. What a great crowd. I love you.